Season 18 of Overwatch 2 has released, and with it comes a lot of changes. Some for the better, and some for the worse. It's only been a few days, so impressions are still forming, but these are my first overall impressions of the new season. There's so much to cover, so I won't go over everything, just the main things I've noticed and I feel the need to put a focus on. But I will say quickly, man, the season release was rough. The servers were dying on launch day massively, so many heroes were bugged. I know QA testers and the devs are probably doing their best to avoid situations like that, but man, it was rough launch. It doesn't help that this season also came out with what I believe to be one of the worst changes Overwatch have done in a very long time. Draft is a new system added to Stadium, which has each team take in turns what hero they want to play. Not only this, once one team selects the hero, the other team won't be able to use that hero, and vice versa. This effectively removes mirror matchups, and I don't like that. It seems many others also don't like it too. The Stadium devs told the community to give it a chance, which is fair to say, but I am shocked they even thought people wanted mirror matches to be removed in the first place. They said it was to make the meta feel less stale, but all it's done is make one team get meta picks and the other team weaker picks. It also means for people who like to only play one or two characters, if the enemy team picks them, they're forced to play a hero they don't know how to play or struggle to play with. Queue times are still being a massive issue too. It seems like queues are very long still, especially for support. So imagine queuing for support for like 20 minutes to get into a game and then not be able to play the hero you want to play because the other team got to pick first. If they wanted the meta to feel less stale, maybe actually buff the weaker heroes and fairly nerf the meta heroes, then it'll be easier to have less stale metas because I think most players would rather enjoy the balance being shaken up than being forced to play the non-meta heroes. Since I mentioned buffs and nerfs as well, Mercy is one of the heroes that got hit with heavy nerfs. Now I understand why. Mercy was very strong in Stadium. I wouldn't say she was a must pick, but she was definitely very strong. So it makes sense that she needed to be tweaked a bit. But the way of nerfing her was taking away one of her best powers, not nerfing it, removing it completely. I don't get it. They removed what many considered her best and most fun power and replaced it with a worse version of it and expected people to be happy about that. Other heroes got their powers buffed or nerfed and not flat out removed, but when it comes to Mercy, she can't get the same treatment. The power has to be removed completely. There were so many ways circles could have been nerfed too, like they could have decreased her ult time or decrease the effectiveness of the beam, but no, just remove it completely and tell Mercy players you want them to make ability power builds on a hero that has nothing in her base kit that gets affected by ability power. I will say Mercy isn't a bad pick still, even with all these changes, but she's definitely not as fun to play as she was, and that's a big shame. Removing a power without even trying to buff or nerf them first is a crazy idea to me, and one I hope they don't repeat on other heroes or Mercy again. I would rather they try to make a power weaker or stronger first than flat out removing it without even trying to rebalance it. Like, give the power a chance to at least be changed a bit before outright removing it. It makes no sense to me. They did do some pretty good changes in Stadium too though. You can still earn competitive points even if you lose in competitive Stadium. For example, if a match goes 3-3 and you lose the last round, instead of getting no competitive points at all, you now get 15, 5 for each round you won. If you win the match overall, however, you get the flat 20 points. You get no extra points for all the rounds you won. This is a good change overall, as now losing won't feel as painful if you won a round or two. Of course you still want to win the max amount of comp points, but it's still nice to get something even on a loss. The new payload race mode is super fun, and much more intense than I thought it would be. A lot of strategy can be used for this mode too. It might be super shocking to the people who might have played Team Fortress 2 before, like myself. If you don't know, Team Fortress 2 had a payload race mode, but it's always been seen like a deathmatch mode, especially on maps like Hightower. So seeing people actually do the objective and actually focus on the actual race aspect of payload race is a big shock to a long-time tier 2 player like me, but it's a welcome one. I generally do love how intense payload race can be. It might actually be my favorite mode to play in Stadium. Of course, we got the 3 new heroes added into Stadium 2. They don't seem too broken at the moment. I'm not sure how they feel to play since all 3 of them are characters I don't really play. I'm sorry, Winston Mains, please don't kill me. I do love him, I just suck at him and I don't know what I'm doing with him. But playing against him so far hasn't made me want to throw my keyboard across the room. Unlike some other characters. And of course there's the new quick play option for Stadium, and at first I was a bit hesitant for them to add a mode like that, but now that it has been added, I actually quite enjoy it a lot. I think it's a lot of fun to have a casual mode of Stadium where we get to test out abilities and powers without having to worry about losing our ranks. It's pretty good, and it is quite fast as well, a lot faster than I thought it would be. There's only up to 5 rounds, and it's first to 3 wins. Honestly, pretty fair, and again, very fun. I generally do enjoy playing Quick Play Stadium a lot. I'll probably still play competitive, but if I'm not in the mood to play competitive, I'll be happy to, play a bit of Quick Play Stadium as well. Now there's new competitive rewards locked behind ranks. Before I said I don't like them locking stuff behind a rank, and I want to go into more detail on what I mean by that. I don't mind them putting a skin behind a rank. It's a good showcase of your progress. What I don't like is it being super high ranked. In Stadium, it's the 2nd highest rank, and in competitive, it's Diamond. Now, Diamond doesn't sound that bad until you take into account, according to Overwatch charts, only 40% of people are Diamond on PC. Now, of course, those numbers can go up with changes to the system and people improving. That's fine, but this skin, like the All-Star skin, it's only a limited time to earn. Once that time's up, you won't be able to earn it anymore. That's my major problem. If you're going to make these skins limited time, I think the rank you need should be lowered to get, so it's much more fairer to everyone to have a chance to get them. Or you can keep it at the higher ranks, but they should be earnable all year round, no deadlines. I've never been a fan of keeping cool rewards behind a timer. Hell, I would still personally prefer paying for this stuff with competitive points. It would be nice to use competitive points for more than just weapon skins and allow anyone, no matter what rank, to enjoy these types of rewards. But I feel this is just the new standard now. What else is there to talk about? Oh yeah, the 77 loot boxes they're giving away right now just for playing the game. Granted, this is due to an event with a basketball player who so happens to play Overwatch. I know nothing of basketball stuff, but his shirt has the number 77 on it, so that's why they decided to give away 77 loot boxes. Wait, does that mean if we had the number 11, we would have only gotten 11 loot boxes? Well, besides that, they do need to give out more loot boxes during events. While this is nice having a bunch of loot boxes in one go, I feel when they do limited time modes, collabs, and other events, loot boxes should be rewarded alongside Battle Pass XP. Especially if it's later in the season. Like, I am someone who doesn't care about getting all the titles in the Battle Pass, so when I see an event happening near the mid or end of the season, there's only Battle Pass XP, it's not very exciting to see, but throw in a few loot boxes and I would be more interested in completing those events. Though maybe they don't need to do that anymore because there's a new way to earn loot boxes with the brand new progression system. Yeah, they revamped the progression system again. Luckily, this progression system didn't wipe anyone's level, which is good as I don't think I could bear starting from level 1 again. There's a lot to talk about here, some good and some not as good, but let's start with the good. The new progression menu is pretty neat, seeing your hero and current skin you have equipped on them, showing you when your next reward will be unlocked, showing the top 5 most leveled up heroes, it's all pretty clean and nice. I think the only thing that would make this better is having a map be shown in the background instead of nothing. It would add some charm and life into the menu. A lot of the rewards for loot boxes are early on in the progression, which makes it nicer for newer players, as well as cosmetics specifically for the hero you leveled up. It's a nice addition that will make new players be able to earn cosmetics without needing to feel like they're forced to buy something. I'm hoping later on more loot boxes will be added for the higher levels for people who grind or play a lot, but right now this is not a big issue. Now with the new progression system, they have removed the sub badges for heroes. All XP is now focused on time played, and I have to say, I'm quite sad about that. Now, I didn't like how slow it felt to level up, and it does seem they have made leveling up faster overall, but I don't think they needed to remove the sub badges for that. It was nice leveling them up and seeing specific stats, even if they don't count towards hero progression. I would love for them to come back. I think it'd be nice to have them displayed in your progression menu. Might be a bit too much though, so I'm not sure. I think sub badges should have stayed, even if they didn't level up your hero progression. As well as this, if they're going to add these cool borders and badges, there should be more than one way to see them besides at the beginning, end of the match, or kill cam, or the replay menu for some reason. Overwatch 1, you could see your player level would have a border around the hero, and that was really cool. I can't see why that's not the case in Overwatch 2 as well. It would be more flair for the UI and more ways to show off your level, especially if you're someone who streams or record videos. And finally, the thing I want to talk about isn't really a season problem, but it's Overwatch as a whole, but it needs to be said. They need to sort out the skin problem. I get it. You give the popular hero skins, it makes you more money since they're the popular ones, meaning larger amount of groups are going to buy those skins. But can we at least give some of the popular heroes a break? Like, does Rhine, Reaper, Mercy, Kiri, and Juno all need new skins this season? Couldn't Mercy and Reaper have a break from the skins just for a season or two, and give those skin spots to someone else like Baptiste or Ramatra? As well as this, my god, these prices are insane! £50 bundle? £30 skin? This is crazy! I mean, look at Fortnite for a second. For £18, you get 2 skins with toggles, an emote, 2 back blends, a contrail, a camo, 2 instruments, and a music track. In Overwatch, for £31, you get 1 skin, 1 emote, 1 highlight intro, weapon charm, a name card, and a spray. Tell me, which one sounds like a more fair deal to you? Granted, some of the cosmetic items I mentioned aren't in each other's game, but I think it's pretty clear which seems to be a more fair deal. These prices are way too much. I don't blame the dev team for these prices, as they're likely price picked from the higher ups and not them, but seriously. Last season we had a Mercy bundle that was cheaper to buy separate than the bundle, and then it was almost the same price as the full bundle with all the other skins in it. These prices are just too insane. Final note, been a couple of seasons since new shop skins were added to the loot box pool. I think it's time to add some new shop skins in there, and also add some skins that are missing in there for no reason. Why are some Mercy skins missing, like Dragoon and Snow Angel? I mean, Snow Angel's icon and sprays are in the loot boxes, but not the skin itself? What gives with that? Wow, I have a lot more to say than I thought I did. I mean, I didn't even talk about balance or the new perks that were added this season. I guess I quickly can say, the perks are the same case as when perks were first added in Season 15. Some heroes feel like they get better and cooler perks than others, but they're still a fun addition. But that's pretty much everything for this season. A little step forward, but big steps back in some areas. Kind of crazy to think next year I would have been playing Overwatch for 10 years. That's insane that it's almost been 10 years since Overwatch 1 released. Hoping they got something massive planned for next year, but that's it for me. What do you think of the current new season of Overwatch, and what are you looking forward to in the future for Overwatch? Let me know in the comments. I've been Hexalina, I'll see you all in the next one.